Police officers often encounter strangers and criminals they've never seen before. However, what occurs when the situation takes an unexpected turn, and they have to arrest their own friends?
Goddamn, Michael, please.
Let's explore 3 real-life instances, beginning with the most shocking case. It's not unusual for some officers to overlook the fact that they, too, must follow the rules. Corporal Scott Bertzi's actions on New Year's Day 2021 serve as a stark reminder of this. When Officer Brooke Shutter arrived at the scene of a car crash, she made a startling discovery. It wasn't just her supervisor at the wheel. It was a dear friend of hers.
Reached out for my lighter, slammed into his ass.
Cool.
Yeah, not really.
Not really.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good.
Your car's fucked up.
No, absolutely. Which I just fucking fixed.
Naturally, Brooke and Scott share a close familiarity, and interestingly, Scott is remarkably candid when recounting the incident's details. It's evident that Scott bears the responsibility for what transpired. So, before proceeding, Brooke opts to make a call back to the base to confirm whether it's acceptable for her to handle this particular incident.
This crash, Birdie, so come work it? Okay. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I've worked a crash with one of us in it, so... No, he's not on duty. He's in his POV. I just didn't want there to be any, conflict of interest type issues. Alright, that was it. I just want to make sure. Yay, bye. Dang it, Birdie.
Brooke receives the green light and is assured that there should be no concerns regarding her handling of the case. However, that assurance comes before she notices something that raises further questions.
You good?
Wait.
Huh?
Wait on his way.
He's not coming. Good?
Walking home, but yep, I'm good.
So, Birdie, you giving me some indicators?
Oh,
Listen.
good woman.
Listen. Valdez is coming out just to... I'm not gonna lie to you about it.
She's on her way?
Yeah, she's on her way. I'm not really comfortable with this whole thing at all, but I'm not gonna lie to you about it.
Oh no,
'Cause-
I don't mean to put you in that indie. Yep.
From now on, you know how it goes. You can't consume anything, okay? Because right now you're being detained.
Wait, what?
It's quite apparent that Scott is displaying signs of impairment, given his slurred speech, delayed reactions, and some difficulty with motor control. Brooke strongly suspects that he may have consumed alcohol. It's crucial to emphasize that Scott has transitioned from his role as her supervisor to becoming a key figure in an ongoing case. Furthermore, his inebriation introduces an element of unpredictability, creating a potentially hazardous situation, especially when considering the safety of a female officer.
Please don't make my life difficult.
I would never do that to you.
Okay, I'm very uncomfortable right now.
And I apologize for putting you in that position. Are you on?
Yes, I am. And I'm going to remain on for integrity. You know you can't smoke right now.
Why?
Because if I'm going to do a DUI investigation, it impedes it, so you can't consume anything. I want to get that dog. This is a really cute dog.
Fear aggression issue.
You can always train a dog. You can't consume anything. You're killing me.
Trying.
What's too late now?
After a brief delay, another officer arrived at the scene, allowing them to initiate sobriety tests and begin uncovering the details of the situation. These tests extended for more than 10 minutes, but one could easily gauge their outcome by observing just a few seconds of them.
You may begin the test.
1, 2, 3.
Based on the duration of the sobriety tests and the substantial amount of evidence stacked against him, the officers felt confident in their assessment that Scott had indeed been drinking that night. Consequently, they made the decision to place him in handcuffs, a move that didn't sit well with Scott at all.
There's things that we can do to fix this, but...
Fucking everything.
It's got the hinge locks. Okay. So, good to go?
Surprisingly, despite Scott's generally polite and respectful demeanor throughout the process, he ended up with a more lenient sentence compared to many other law enforcement officers in similar situations. Following a breathalyzer test at the station that registered a blood alcohol level of 0.156, he faced charges of driving under the influence and property damage. As part of his sentence, he was ordered to pay just under $1,000 in fines, complete 50 hours of community service, attend several substance abuse and DUI classes, and had his driver's license suspended for 6 months. Additionally, he had to settle a lawsuit with the driver of the vehicle he had crashed into. Furthermore, he received a 1-week suspension without pay and was placed under a last chance agreement, signifying that any further transgressions would result in his permanent dismissal. Living in a small town certainly has its downsides, such as the fact that everyone knows each other, including the local police officers. In Buck's case, it's a challenge, because the town sheriff claims to have seen him driving his Chevy pickup, even though it's common knowledge that he doesn't have a valid driver's license. To explain his way out of this situation, Buck might have some tricks up his sleeve.
Buck,
What?
You know you ain't got-
Damn, Michael.
you know you ain't got a driver's license.
Don't do this, please.
I got to.
Man, goddamn, Michael. Please.
I got to.
No, listen to me.
No.
Please, just listen to
Sheriff
me.
sent me.
The sheriff.
Sheriff, captain. I mean, they've seen you driving. We gotta get you.
I'm telling you, I'm just trying to tell you something. Listen, if
I'm
you
listening.
listen to me. The person that was driving this truck just jumped out of the fucking on goddamn Lake Morality, and goddamn, I had no other way to get it here, buddy. I swear to God, I'm not going to drive it no more. I promise you.
No, I got to.
Goddamn, Michael, please.
31 to 28. You 51 this way?
That's crazy, bro. I just passed it.
You just passed him?
Yeah, on
he didn't
67.
turn around?
No, he didn't. I swear to God, he didn't. Michael, I just swear to God, if you listen to me, bro, I swear to God.
I'm about to right now. Sheriff, he's stating someone jumped out behind the wheel.
Yeah, and I'm trying to get my truck home. That's it.
Buck,
Bro, I swear to
you
God,
can't
bro.
get a driver's license in the state of Florida, dude. That's how bad it is.
Buck's explanation that his friend was initially driving the truck, but left him stranded near a lake, forcing him to drive back home himself. The officer rightly points out that there were alternative, safer options available to him, such as using a ride-sharing service, calling a friend or family member for a lift, or even simply waiting for someone to pick him up. In modern times, with the prevalence of easily accessible transportation options and the awareness of the dangers of drunk driving, law enforcement officers are less likely to accept no other option as a valid excuse for getting behind the wheel without a valid driver's license. Buck may find it difficult to persuade the officer with this explanation, and it's essential for him to consider legal advice and navigate the situation accordingly.
I get it, but man, you still can't drive, bro. Pull it off the road and wait till someone has a valid license.
What?
Let's go.
That's crazy, dude. Would you tell him?
Let's go, Buck. I'm not playing this game.
What do you mean? I'm telling you the truth.
Nobody jumped out.
God damn it! I'm pissed on your wall foot. Man, I'm trying to tell you
I'm not-
something.
Ain't nobody jumped out, Buck.
Yes, they did. Kevin, did they
Stay
not?
out of this, Kevin!
Did they not? Kevin, back up.
Kevin, you stay out of this.
Did they not jump out? Back up, Kevin. God damn, dude.
I'm trying to get respect when you gonna run for me like that. Get up.
Despite the relatively short duration of the chase, it only served to compound Buck's already substantial list of charges. In a close-knit community like this one, there's no doubt that the police chase would become the talk of the town, adding to Buck's notoriety. While some of the details about the ground struggle had to be omitted, the police reported that Buck put up such a resistance that they had to resort to using a taser to gain control. The footage resumes when Buck is finally fully restrained and handcuffed. At this point, he's placed in the back of the officer's patrol vehicle for transportation back to the station. Frustrated and upset, Buck decides to engage the officers in a personal conversation during the ride.
I don't talk to you about your mom in this.
I don't give a fuck if you talk to me about my mom or not.
Leave my family out of this, dog.
All I'm saying is this. Would she be proud of you for sticking that fucking taser to me when I was not even resisting when you done that?
You're resisting.
What the fuck I was? You had me.
Yeah, that's why we had each other in headlocks. Whatever. Look, Buck.
Yeah.
Stop bringing my mom into it.
Based on the situation described, it's probable that Buck faced charges for driving without a license and resisting arrest. The argument for a felony charge of fleeing to elude an officer, which carries a potential 5-year prison sentence, could be made but might be less likely given the circumstances. It's possible that Buck's friend, who was driving initially, received a lesser misdemeanor charge, which typically comes with a shorter jail sentence. likely just a couple of months. The final charges would depend on the specific laws and regulations in the jurisdiction, as well as the evidence and circumstances surrounding the incident. Legal representation and a thorough understanding of local laws would be essential in determining the exact charges and potential outcomes in Buck's case. Indeed, when a law enforcement officer is involved in a case, the dynamics can be quite different. There's often increased scrutiny and special procedures to ensure fairness and transparency. The situation becomes more complex when a fellow officer is implicated. It can lead to a thorough investigation and potentially different outcomes compared to cases involving civilians only. The traffic stop initiated with Petra Edgerton was initially prompted by a broken brake light, a common reason for such stops.
How you doing? Reason I stopped you is your right brake light is out. Who do you work for?
So did you stop me because my right brake light is out?
Yeah.
Or did you stop me to ask me who I work for?
Well, I'm asking you both.
DCS.
What?
DCS.
DCS. What's DCS?
You don't know what
Department of
DCS?
Children's Services?
However, during the encounter, the officer observed something that raised suspicions: a police badge. It's noteworthy that the officer did not recognize Petra as a fellow officer, and the presence of a police badge in a vehicle with a broken brake light struck the officer as unusual. This prompted the officer to delve deeper into the situation and investigate further to determine if there was more to the story.
See your license then? Do you have your badge on you? Like your ID badge?
I can badge for.
Being a police officer.
See, this is what you're asking me all those questions.
Right.
Saying you stopped me with my right brake light.
So, if you're a police officer, you understand what probable cause is, right?
So what's the problem with
Your right brake light's out.
my right brake light wasn't out when you followed me out of the gas station.
Yeah, it is. It's out right now.
The car wasn't even on when you followed me out of the
Doesn't
gas
matter. You're driving with a brake light out on the streets, so it's an
station.
equipment
Okay, you
violation.
followed me out of the gas station.
I saw it when you were pulling out.
Certainly, the broken brake light issue quickly becomes a secondary concern for the officer. It's not always easy to define how an off-duty officer should behave, but Petra's behavior is raising serious concerns. Her defensiveness, evasiveness, and the vague responses she provides to the officer's questions are not in line with the typical behavior of a genuine law enforcement officer. Given these red flags, the officer decides it's time to get to the bottom of the situation and uncover exactly what is happening here.
Look, long story short, I just want to know who you work for.
And that's the issue. Why do you want to know who I work for?
Because I've never seen you around here before. You're not a police officer that works here.
You don't know who I am.
That's right.
You never seen me.
Right. So, are you a police officer or are you not a police officer?
So because a black person walks into a store with a badge and a gun, it's an issue.
That has
But
nothing to do with you
never
being
seen
black.
me.
Are you a police officer or you're not a police
Not a
officer?
police officer.
You're not a police officer?
No.
So why would you go into Quick Trip and get free food with your badge and gun?
Because I'm an officer. You don't have to be a police officer to go in there. I've been doing it for 3 years.
So you're not a
It's not-
certified police
It's
officer.
not probable cause. It's a personal thing.
The need to ascertain Petra's true identity and intentions takes precedence over the initial brake light issue. Authenticating one's identity as a law enforcement officer is typically straightforward, and providing the name of the department, supervisor, or a quick check with them should be a simple and routine process for a legitimate officer. The fact that Petra is reacting defensively and making it a personal issue rather than cooperating raises significant concerns. Furthermore, Petra's apparent lack of awareness regarding her actions moments earlier in the store, where she presented her badge and gun for free food, indicates a serious issue. This goes beyond just impersonating a cop. It potentially involves misuse of authority and abuse of power. Given these red flags and the need to unravel the situation, the officer must delve deeper to understand what is truly happening and determine the appropriate course of action.
Did I steal from
Are you
Quick Trip?
yeah, if you're not a police officer.
I did not steal from Quick Trip. I went up to the register, spoke to the guy that works there, and told him I had his drink.
So you're presenting yourself as a police officer with your badge and your gun on the side.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
I do understand that. But my issue with you is, you've seen that. You say because you never seen me before.
So who do you work for?
Followed me out of the store.
Who do you work for?
Are you
Who is
really
DCS?
How long have you been working here?
12 years, 13 years.
How do you not know what DCS is?
There's, like I said, is it Department of Children's Services? What is it? Explain it to me.
I don't have to explain myself to you. If you're gonna give me a ticket to tell light, you give me a ticket to tell light.
Okay. You see your license?
The officer's decision to contact the DCS himself is a crucial step in resolving the situation. This action can quickly confirm his suspicions and help establish the appropriate course of action based on the information provided by the department.
Who's your supervisor?
What do that have to do with my brake light?
What it has to do with is you've told me you're a police officer or you're an officer for DCS. I've got DCS on the phone. They say you don't work there. So who's your supervisor?
The suspect's decision to remain silent is a well-recognized legal right, and it can be an indicator of some knowledge about the legal system or policing procedures. However, the unexpected surprise when the officer asks for the passenger's ID adds another layer of complexity to the situation. This new development will likely require the officer to investigate further and potentially reveal more about what's truly happening in this case.
One of your employees here, Brandy Green. She was with her friend, Petra Edgerton. Brandy decided that she was going to give Petra her badge and her gun to go into Quick Trip and get some food. So I pulled them over for a broken tail light. Petra was driving. She had the badge on and the gun on. When I pulled them over, she identified herself as a DCS officer and then later admitted to not being a DCS officer. And your employee, Brandy Green, admitted to giving her the gun and the badge to go into Quick Trip to get the free food.
The passenger's identity, or any information related to her, might hold vital clues in understanding the full picture. The investigation ultimately unraveled the truth in this complex case. Brandy Green's resignation from her position at the DCS is a significant step in addressing the situation. Meanwhile, Petra, who was impersonating a police officer, is now facing felony charges that could lead to a prison sentence of up to 5 years. This outcome serves as an example of the legal system working to address misconduct and uphold the law.